Hey, Mike. What? Who's got next?
What's good, y'all? It's your man Hezo, and welcome back to the Blacktop, where I always got next, you feel me? So we are back at it with another Hawks recap. It's been a couple days since I've dropped the video, other than my live stream I did before the Hornets game. And we got another win, back-to-back wins. JC and Dejounte are both back in the lineup, but whew, exhale on that one. We almost choked it away. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are almost at 900. We are just about there. That 1,000 mark is right around the corner. And if y'all want to see that jersey giveaway by the end of the year, we got a little bit less than 2 weeks left in the year. And y'all keep in mind, I am going to be gone the entire last week of December. I'm going to be on vacation for Christmas. I'm going to be up north spending time with family. So y'all keep that in mind. You're not going to see any content from me. So if y'all want to see that jersey giveaway, we got to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. I know we can do it. We only got a little bit over a week. So let's keep this momentum going. Leave a like on the video, and let's get right into it. We escaped a close one, man. We escaped a close one after almost choking it away. I want to give a shout out to the Magic, man. They fought and fought and fought, and this team really is going to be really good, I think, going forward in the future. They were on a 6-game win streak going into this game, and they really have been one of the hottest teams in the NBA since they've gotten Markelle Fultz back, who he had a really good game. I'm going to talk about him a little bit later in the video, but the Magic, they just really have a nice young core, and again, I'm going to talk about them a little bit later. So starting out in this game, Atlanta comes out with a lot more energy on offense. The defense was kind of, still not there. We obviously didn't give up 50 points in the first quarter, but the defense still was just not doing a good job. The Magic were getting to the paint, getting open shooters, and Atlanta was just doing a poor job of containing that. But on offense, the ball was moving. The ball was not sticking. No, it wasn't just one guy, taking every shot or two guys. The ball was really moving around. Trae had a really solid game. JC had a really good first half, but didn't really do anything in the first half, or in the second half, but he didn't really get a ton of minutes in the second half. I'm assuming that was because of a minutes restriction, so I think he'll be fine going forward. The Magic just kept hanging around. It seemed like every time Atlanta was to go on a slight run and go out by double digits, the Magic will go on a slight run of their own, start knocking down threes, start getting to the paint, and they would kind of just hang around the entire game. Markelle Fultz had a great half. He finished with 16 on the half, and he has been really good since they've got him back into the lineup, and he's really proven that he could be a really solid point guard in this league. His jumper's improving. He's shooting over 40% from three since he's gotten back into the lineup. His mid-range is solid, and Markelle Fultz has been a huge lift for this Magic team, and is a huge reason why they were on a 6-game win streak coming into tonight. Paolo caught fire at the end of the half. I mean, he hit his last 3 shots, a big 3 towards the end, and then Atlanta was only up 3 going into the half. Second half starts, Atlanta goes on a quick run. I think it was like a 7-0 run. Just like that, we go up 10 points, and then the Magic real quick answer it. It was just back and forth the entire second half. Orlando again just kept hanging around. Trae had a huge third quarter. He was getting to the paint at will, and shout out to Trae, man. It was great to see him finally look like he was maybe starting to get back into a rhythm after tonight. He hit 3 threes. I mean, a couple deep ones. He was getting into the paint. He was finishing in the paint up until the last couple plays of the fourth quarter. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But Trae had an excellent overall game. I think he finished with 37 points and 13 assists, somewhere around there in that range. So great game from Trae. He shot efficiently. He didn't turn the ball over a ton, which was great to see. So he was really the engine, especially in the third quarter, that really kept Atlanta going. But again, Orlando just kept hanging around, man. We couldn't pull away. It seemed like every time we would go up 10 to 12 points, 11 to 12 points, 9 to 12, whatever you want to call it, Orlando just kept hanging around, man. Their bench stepped up. Their starters played great. Paolo had a solid game. Markelle Fultz had a solid game. Bobo was a little quiet, which was, kind of surprising, actually, after the game he had the other night against Orlando, in the Atlanta game. And then the fourth quarter was just back and forth. It seemed like Atlanta was about to put the foot on the neck and really just close them out. But that was one of the worst, probably the most poor execution games I've seen, or I don't even know how to word it. One of the worst, I guess, way to execute the final couple minutes of a game that I've seen from this team all season. It was just extremely sloppy, and it went right to ISO ball at the end of the game. I mean, we were up, 10 with about 3 minutes left, and I'm thinking, okay, this game's over. We got it in the bag. And then a couple bad shots, a couple turnovers. Magic go on a quick, 9 to 10-0 run, and just like that, they're right back in the game. And then they take the lead with 3 seconds left. A very, very poor job on the offensive end with executing down the stretch of the game. Trae kept trying to draw contact. He wasn't getting the fouls. Turnovers. It was bad. It was very bad to watch, and I really thought we was about to choke this game away. And you have to credit the Magic for not giving up, staying the course, and really just battling till the end, forcing Atlanta into tough shots and getting into transition and getting easy buckets. The Magic almost stole this one on the road after trailing for most of the game, double digits most of the game, almost came out with a dub, and you have to credit the Magic. They played an excellent game. I mean, neither teams were playing defense, but the Magic defense in those final 3 minutes forced Atlanta into bad shots, and we almost choked it away. Nate's got to do a better job of coaching these guys down the stretch of ball games. It can't be so much ISO ball. I mean, we've seen it in the past, and it looks like it's continued. They completely went away from what's working with the ball movement. I mean, it was just isolation. It was either Dejounte or Trae isolating. And it's tough to see because guys like Trae and JC, who had really solid first halves, didn't really get many shot attempts, if any at all, in the second half. And that's been a big problem, and a big thing that I've noticed with this team is it seems like they go away from the formula that's working and creating separation from the team, from the opponent, that they just go away from it and they go to a stagnant ISO ball offense. And it's really bit them in the behind numerous times when you let a team like the Magic get back into the game after trailing 10 points with only 3 minutes left to go. They take the lead and really were in position to steal the game on the road. If Paolo doesn't foul Dejounte on that shot, the Magic probably get away with the win, because that was a horrible shot, to say the least, because they could have worked it around for a way better shot than that on the final possession, to where you could have got an open look, but it was forced up. Luckily, we got the foul call and we got bailed, and we got out with the win. But in my opinion, that's not a satisfying win. With the way that we played and how bad the defense played, yeah, I mean, we got the win. We ended the Magic 6-game win streak, but that's not really a satisfying win when you look at the way and how poorly we executed down the stretch of this ball game, and really could have lost and probably should have lost, but we didn't. I will say I'm excited to watch Hawks basketball again. It really excites me to see JC and Dejounte back in the lineup, because we do need these guys going forward, and it's nice to see our offense really come together in those last couple minutes, which hopefully they can figure out going forward. I will say I'm excited for Hawks basketball again. So before I get into my final takeaways, I want to talk about the Magic a little bit. And I know a couple Magic fans watched my last recap video, and I greatly appreciate that. I welcome all fans to my channel. This Magic team, they are really fun to watch, and I think they really have a bright future with the guys that they have on this roster. Now, I will say I want to see Terrence Ross move on to another team to where he can actually have a chance to win, because he doesn't fit with the timeline. He's older. They need to move him at the deadline. But this kid, Paolo Banchero, man, and I've talked about him in the last couple recaps that I've done when we've played the Magic. This kid doesn't look like a rookie. He has been incredible all season long, and I think is going to eventually reach superstardom in the next couple years. And the Magic really got just an absolute gem with Paolo, and they have other guys that have really played so well with getting Markelle Fultz back. Bobo is going to be really big for them going forward. Franz Wagner has been really solid all season. Mo Wagner's even been solid, for this team all season, since he's been, kind of getting more minutes now that Wendell Carter's down. And again, they don't even have Wendell Carter, so this Magic team has a lot to look. This team and the fan base has a lot to look forward to in the future. They're probably going to get another high draft pick to add to this young core next season, and this team is going to be really fun to watch going forward. And I really see them probably making the playoffs within the next season or two. And I can't even lie, man, they're a really fun team to watch. I'm thankful that Atlanta is done playing them this season, because we have struggled against them. I mean, we kind of dominated the first two matchups, but these last two, it was really kind of the Magic that really, I wouldn't say dominated. Obviously, they dominated the last one, but tonight, the Magic could have came away with this win, and they were in the game the entire game. So shout out to the Magic, man. I like their future. So I'm gonna get into my final takeaways for this game. Takeaway number one was the ball movement. The ball movement was absolutely incredible tonight for most of the game, up until, again, those last 3 minutes or so. The ball wasn't sticking throughout the entire game. Guys were getting shots, getting open shots. Trae finished with 13 assists on the night. AJ Griffin was doing a little bit of playmaking. I'm gonna talk about him in my next point. And guys were getting their shots. I mean, Trae had a really solid first half. JC had a really solid first half in his return. Dejounte hit some big shots down the stretch of the game, and the ball was just not sticking. Guys were getting their shots, and it was great to see. I think we had 7 of the 9 guys in double figures, which again, you love to see that. But again, they got to clean up those last couple minutes with that just poor execution on offense down the stretch of the game. It went to too much ISO ball, and the ball started sticking, and that was just a recipe for disaster. And again, for the 1,000th time, we almost gave this game away. A little bit disappointing not seeing Trae and JC. Again, I touched on that a little bit earlier in the video, not get as many shots in the second half. I don't even know if they attempted any, to be honest with you. I think Trae might have attempted 1 or 2. I don't think JC, I think he maybe attempted 1, but they got to do a better job of getting those guys involved consistently, especially when they're having a solid half. Got to do a better job. Even though the ball wasn't sticking, those guys still got to get involved in the second half of the ball game, because they had a really solid first half, and it was disappointing to see them not get involved in the second half. Number 2 is the bench. The bench was absolutely incredible tonight. AJ Griffin, man, he was just on one tonight and really showed that he's one of the better rookies in the league and was an absolute steal for this team. He shot efficiently. He was getting to the paint. He was hitting a nice little mid-range floater. AJ Griffin's been incredible. I love this kid. He has so much potential. He really is going to be such a big piece going forward. Double O had a big game off the bench tonight. I think he had maybe a double-double. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't know. He might have been around the double-double. Aaron Holiday had a couple nice buckets, but overall, the bench production was really solid. Obviously, now that we got some guys back in the lineup, Jalen Johnson didn't really do much. Again, he's been kind of a disappointment. He has his moments, but he just really has been disappointing for the most part throughout the entire season. So my third and final takeaway was the paint offense. I mean, we were getting to the paint at will. I mean, Trae had a big game into the getting into the paint, especially in the third quarter. Dejounte got into the paint. Trae was getting to the paint. I mean, really everybody was getting to the paint. They were finishing in the paint, and we had probably, I think, over 50 points down there, and that's great to see. That just kind of shows that you're not relying on the perimeter shooting, and you're not going to shoot yourself out of the game. Now, again, it was really bad execution down the stretch of the ball game when they were trying to get to the paint and draw contact, but we just weren't getting the calls. Got to clean that up. Got to do a better job going forward, and the defense has to be better. If we're going to start to string together some wins, we can't consistently give up 120 plus points to a team that they could light the scoreboard up, but there's no excuse for this team to be putting up 120 plus points in back-to-back games against this team. You have to do a better job defensively, so hopefully that changes going forward. I'm gonna pretty much leave it there, man. Not really much more to go into about this game. Again, I am back with the recap. I didn't do one against Charlotte. I missed the entire first half because I was trying to plan my own bachelor party, but I did end up missing the entire first half, so it is what it is on that. I'm gonna do a recap for the game on Wednesday against Chicago, and then I could probably get one more recap in at the very end of the year. I think on the 30th we have a game, so I'm going to be doing a game recap for that, so y'all be on the lookout for these next couple recaps. Leave your thoughts down in the comment. Again, subscribe if you want to see a chance at that jersey giveaway. Leave a like on the video, and I will catch y'all next episode.